Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything you have been working toward, everything you have been visualizing, everything you have been feeling deep in your heart has finally arrived. The opportunities, the breakthroughs, the abundance, the love. It's all here. Not by accident, not by luck, but because you have aligned yourself with this moment long before it appeared. For so long you held on to your vision even when there was no physical proof that it was coming. You trusted even when doubt tried to creep in. You believed even when circumstances made it seem impossible. And now that patience, that trust, that unwavering belief is paying off. But this moment didn't just happen. It was being shaped long before you could see it. The energy of your future was already rearranging itself, moving through time and space, responding to the signals you sent out through your thoughts, emotions, and action. Now, as you stand on the threshold of everything you have manifested, I want you to understand one thing. This was never about waiting. It was about becoming. And because you became the version of yourself who already had it, the universe had no choice but to deliver it to you. Patience is often misunderstood. Many people think of it as waiting, as if they are standing still, hoping that what they want will one day arrive. But real patience is not passive. It is an act of deep trust, a knowing that what you seek is already moving toward you. Patience is not about enduring the passing of time. It is about aligning yourself with the energy of the future you have created. When you truly understand this, patience becomes one of the most powerful states of being you can embody. It is the foundation of manifestation, the bridge between thought and reality. When you set an intention, whether it is for success, love, health, or abundance, you are sending a signal out into the quantum field. This field does not operate on human timelines. It responds to energy, to the coherence of your mind and heart, and to the depth of your belief. If your desire is strong but your doubt is stronger, the signal you send is mixed and the process of manifestation slows down. But when you hold an unwavering trust, when you remain patient because you know your desire is already materializing, you create an energy that is unshakable. Consider what happens when you plant a seed in the ground. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You don't panic because you can't see the roots forming. You water it, you give it sunlight, and you trust that nature is doing its work. Your role is not to control the process, but to nurture the conditions that allow it to unfold. The same is true with your desires. The moment you placed your intention into the field, the process began. But if you constantly question when and how it will appear, you disrupt the energy that is bringing it to you. Patience then is not about doing nothing. It is about maintaining the right state of being. When you are patient, you are not focused on the absence of what you want. You are living in the energy of already having it. This is the key difference between waiting and trusting. People who wait often experience frustration, disappointment, and doubt. Their focus is on what is missing. But those who trust remain calm, centered, and expectant. They know that just because they cannot see it yet does not mean it isn't happening. The energy of patience is the energy of trust. It is an inner certainty that says, I don't need to chase this because it is already mine. This certainty is not blind faith. It is an understanding of how reality works. When you emit a signal of complete belief, the universe has no choice but to match it. It will rearrange people, circumstances, and opportunities to bring you what you have been aligned with. But it can only do this if your energy remains steady. Doubt is like turbulence in an otherwise smooth flight. If you are constantly questioning whether your manifestation is coming, you are sending waves of incoherent energy into the field. Imagine you are programming a destination into a GPS, but every few minutes you change your mind about where you want to go. The system will constantly have to recalculate the route, delaying your arrival. The same happens with your desires. If one moment you are fully convinced, but the next moment you are filled with doubt, you slow down the manifestation process. The most powerful individuals in history, those who changed the world, who built empires, who created miracles, had one thing in common. They knew. They did not just hope. They did not simply wish. They lived in the energy of certainty. This is what patience truly means. It is not resignation. It is not passivity. It is an unshakable trust that what you have asked for is already on its way. When you embody patience in this way, you are no longer a person who is trying to create something. You are a person who already has it, who is simply allowing it to materialize. This shift in energy is what separates those who manifest their dreams from those who remain stuck in endless waiting. The field does not respond to desperation or urgency. It responds to clarity, belief, and coherence. This is why patience is such a powerful force. It is not just about time passing. It is about the energy you hold while time passes. If you hold frustration, worry, or doubt, you push your desires further away. But if you remain in a state of trust, joy, and gratitude, you magnetize them toward you. Reality is not as solid as it seems. It is fluid, shaped by consciousness, molded by the energy you emit. The moment you stop forcing and start trusting, you unlock the full power of creation. You have already sent the signal. You have already planted the seed. Your role now is to nurture the energy that allows it to flourish. Patience is not an obstacle. It is not a test. It is the final stage before your manifestation arrive. Your mind and heart have been working together in ways you may not fully comprehend. Every thought you have consistently focused on, every image you have held in your imagination, and every emotion you have repeatedly felt has been shaping your reality long before it becomes visible. The process of manifestation does not begin when things start to appear in your physical world. It begins the moment you commit to a vision and sustain the energy of that vision within you. When you desire something, a new opportunity, a transformed life, a greater level of abundance, you are not simply wishing for it, you are forming an energetic blueprint in the field of infinite potential. This field, which contains all possibilities, responds to the signals you send. Your thoughts are electric, sending signals outward, while your emotions are magnetic, drawing matching experiences back to you. Every time you visualize your future with clarity and elevate your emotions to match the feeling of already having it, you reinforce this signal. Think of your mind as the architect and your heart as the builder. The mind creates the design, setting the intention, imagining the details, and forming the picture of what you want. The heart, on the other hand, is responsible for generating the energy that brings it to life. If your mind constructs a vision, but your heart does not believe in it or feel the joy of it, then the design remains inactive. But when the heart and mind work together, when your thoughts and emotions align with the same reality, then you are sending a coherent and powerful signal into the quantum field. This process has been happening every time you have imagined your future, every time you have sat in stillness and envisioned the life you want. You have been preparing the way. It is easy to underestimate the power of a single thought or the impact of a single feeling, but each one is like a brushstroke on a masterpiece. Over time they accumulate, creating a rich and vibrant reality within you long before it materializes externally. Many people believe that nothing is happening simply because they do not yet see results. But reality is being constructed from the unseen. Just like an artist begins with an empty canvas, layering colors and textures before the final image emerges, your internal world has been shaping the outer world step by step. If you have been consistently imagining your future, feeling the joy of it, and aligning your emotions with its fulfillment, then your work has not been in vain. The conditions have already been set. Your subconscious mind plays a significant role in this process. It does not know the difference between what is real and what is imagined. If you close your eyes and vividly experience a moment of success, joy, or abundance, your brain records it as if it is actually happening. Neural pathways are strengthened and your body begins to shift at a biological level. This is why the most powerful manifestations come from those who do not just think about their future, but who feel it deeply, as if they are already living it. Your heart, too, is an instrument of creation. When you sustain elevated emotions, gratitude, love, inspiration, you generate a field of energy around you that extends beyond your physical body. This field interacts with the quantum world, drawing experiences and opportunities that match your frequency. The more consistently you feel these emotions, the stronger this field becomes. This is why the greatest transformations occur when people step into the energy of their future self and refuse to return to the limitations of their past. if you have been patient, if you have been returning to your vision over and over again, then the structure of your future has already been built. It exists in the quantum realm, waiting for the right conditions to bring it into the material world. You have been training your brain to recognize opportunities, shifting your energy to align with them, and programming your subconscious mind to accept them as natural. The unseen has been organizing itself in response to your inner world. Nothing you have imagined has been wasted. Every moment of belief, every surge of excitement, every instance where you felt gratitude for something before it arrived, these have all been laying the foundation for what is now unfolding. Even if you did not see immediate results, even if you questioned whether your efforts were working, your mind and heart were setting things in motion. The field does not work according to human schedules. It works according to the intensity and consistency of the energy you broadcast. And if you have held steady, if you have continued to align yourself with the reality you seek, then the path has already been prepared. Your external world is simply catching up to what your internal world has already created. What was once just an intention, a vision, or a desire is now materializing into form. This process has been happening in ways that may not have been obvious to you, but it has been happening nonetheless. Manifestation does not work in an instant flash of magic. It is an unfolding, a transition from the unseen world of energy and thought into the tangible world of experience. You have been aligning with a new reality. And now what was once only a possibility is solidifying into something real. When you first set an intention, it existed as pure energy, a thought, an image in your mind, an emotion in your heart. It was invisible, yet it was real. The quantum field, which contains all potential realities, registered this signal the moment you became clear on what you wanted. From that point on, a process was set into motion, even if nothing appeared to change in your external world. The delay between intention and manifestation is not a sign that nothing is happening. It is simply the time required for energy to organize itself into matter. Think of how a tree grows. It starts as a tiny seed beneath the soil, completely invisible to the eye. Yet below the surface, roots are expanding, gathering nutrients and creating a foundation. Eventually, a sprout emerges, still small but undeniable. Over time, it grows into something strong and undeniable. But this transformation did not happen overnight. Your manifestations follow the same path. They begin in the unseen, taking shape through energy, emotions, and thoughts, before they make their way into the physical world. The reality you desired is no longer just an idea. It has been taking form through a series of invisible shifts. The people you meet, the circumstances you encounter, and even the thoughts that come to you are all part of this unfolding. Nothing happens randomly. The field is constantly rearranging itself in response to your energy. When you vibrate at the frequency of what you desire, you create synchronicities, coincidences, and opportunities that align with that state of being. You may think things are just falling into place, but in truth, they are responding to the work you have been doing all along. For a long time, you may have felt like nothing was changing. That is because much of this transformation happens at levels beyond conscious awareness. While you were focusing on your vision, rewiring your beliefs, and embodying elevated emotions, your subconscious mind was making adjustments. Your nervous system was adapting to a new way of being. Your habits, thoughts, and actions were subtly shifting to match the future you had imagined. At the same time, external factors were also aligning. Conversations, events, and seemingly unrelated occurrences were moving into position to support your new reality. Now, as your manifestation nears completion, you may begin to notice signs everywhere. Perhaps you see repeated numbers, hear certain words over and over, or find yourself meeting the right people at exactly the right time. These are not coincidences. They are signals that the process is nearing its final stage. The invisible is becoming visible, and reality is responding more directly to your energy. The more you recognize and acknowledge these signs, the faster the process accelerates. Your emotions have played a crucial role in bringing this transformation to life. Every time you felt gratitude before receiving, every time you chose joy over fear, and every time you believed without evidence, you reinforced the frequency of your desire. Your heart and mind were broadcasting a signal that could not be ignored. The field responded by shaping reality to match it. Now, as your manifestation enters the final stages, your emotions will act as the final bridge between energy and matter. If you maintain the elevated state you have cultivated, you will step seamlessly into the life you have been creating. Even the challenges you faced were part of this process. Every delay, every moment of doubt, every setback was not a sign that your manifestation was failing. It was a test of your alignment. Were you willing to trust even when things appeared uncertain? Could you maintain your energy when external circumstances suggested otherwise? Those moments refined your ability to hold your vision steady. They strengthened your belief, ensuring that when your manifestation arrived, you would be ready to receive it fully. The shift from the unseen to the seen is not something you force. It is something you allow. When you remain open in a state of expectancy rather than desperation, you create the perfect conditions for reality to finalize its shift. The key is not to grasp or chase, but to continue embodying the energy of already having it. You are standing on the threshold of your new reality, and now all that remains is for you to step into it with certainty. Gratitude is one of the most powerful states of being you can embody, and it plays a crucial role in the final stages of manifestation. Most people think of gratitude as something that comes after receiving, as if it is merely a reaction to a favorable outcome. But true gratitude, the kind that transforms your reality, is not about waiting to feel thankful once something arrives. It is about stepping into the energy of already having it before it physically appeared. When you feel gratitude for something that has not yet materialized, you signal to the universe that it is already yours, and in doing so, you accelerate the process of bringing it into form. The quantum field responds not to your wishes, but to your state of being. If you constantly feel the absence of what you desire, you send a signal of lack, reinforcing the gap between you and your manifestation. But when you shift into gratitude, you collapse that gap. You become a vibrational match to the reality you seek, and the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to you. This is not about pretending or forcing an emotion. It is about truly embodying the feeling of already having what you desire. When you do this with sincerity, your brain and body begin to operate as if your manifestation is already complete. Scientific studies have shown that when you experience gratitude, your brain releases neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, chemicals associated with happiness and well-being. Your nervous system shifts out of survival mode and into a state of relaxation, openness, and receptivity. This is not just a mental shift, it is a physiological one. Your body begins to align with a new future, sending out signals that invite that future into your reality. When you live in a state of gratitude, you are no longer seeking or chasing, you are allowing. Think about the way you feel when you receive something you have been longing for. There is a deep sense of relief, joy, and appreciation. Now imagine generating that same emotional state before the thing arrives. Your mind does not know the difference between an actual experience and a vividly imagined one. When you feel gratitude in advance, your brain begins to rewire itself, forming new neural pathways that support this new reality. Over time, this internal shift translates into external change. You start making different choices, attracting different experiences, and moving in ways that align with the outcome you have already claimed as yours. Gratitude also removes resistance. When people fixate on what they lack, they unknowingly create energetic barriers to their desire. Their focus is on waiting, doubting, or questioning when and how things will happen. This creates stress and incoherence in their energy field, slowing down the manifestation process. But gratitude dissolves these barriers. It places you in a state of surrender, trust, and certainty. Instead of forcing things to happen, you create a space for them to naturally unfold. There is a reason why so many spiritual teachings emphasize the power of gratitude. It is not just a practice. It is a frequency, a state of being that aligns you with the highest possible outcomes. When you wake up every day and express gratitude for what has not yet appeared, you are not deceiving yourself. You are stepping into a version of yourself that has already received it. This is the secret to effortless manifestation. You become so certain, so aligned, so attuned to your desired reality that the external world simply catches up to your internal world. That gratitude also transforms your perception. When you focus on what you already have, you shift your attention away from lack and towards abundance. This shift changes the way you interact with the world. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You recognize synchronicities where others see randomness. You develop an unshakable trust that life is always working in your favor. And because perception shapes reality, this new way of seeing the world leads to new experiences that confirm your beliefs. Even when challenges arise, gratitude allows you to navigate them with grace. Instead of seeing delays or setbacks as signs of failure, you begin to understand them as part of the process. You recognize that every experience, whether pleasant or difficult, is leading you toward your ultimate outcome. This mindset keeps you from falling into frustration or doubt, ensuring that your energy remains aligned with your manifestation. The people who manifest the fastest are not the ones who never face obstacles, but the ones who maintain their energy regardless of circumstances. As you step into this new phase of your journey, gratitude is your greatest tool. It is the final bridge between where you are and where you are going. When you live in gratitude, you are no longer someone who is waiting for something to happen. You are someone who already knows it is done. And because reality is a mirror of your internal state, it must reflect back to you what you have already claimed as yours.